Being involved in professional development is embedded within the standards for registered training organisations. It's pretty important stuff, but it's important also to know that it goes past simply attending seminars and workshops. So what do we need to see? Well, first and foremost, this unit is about showing that you think about what you do when you're training and assessing, and also showing that you're committed to continuing to gain your knowledge and skills within the vet sector. With respect to the first part, training, we need to see that you've reflected on not less than 10 hours of your own training with someone else. Common ways to evidence this are from notes and minutes compiled after team teaching, for example, where someone else has spent some time observing your lessons and then you discuss your findings afterwards. For other people, they look at student surveys at the end of a unit and discuss these with a colleague. There are many ways, but they all share one very important ingredient. They show recommendations for how you can improve. So that's the first part. What's the second part? It's about assessment and the way in which we do it. So just like the review of 10 hours of training, we need to see that you have reviewed your assessment of 10 people. Again, this review needs to be conducted with someone else. The most common way to meet this requirement would be by sending in some moderation documents. The combination of meeting minutes with a list of students sampled would be a good starting point. Feel free to remove surnames or other identifying features if you like. As with many other units, it can always be a good idea to give us a call to nail down the evidence that you might have available. This unit is not usually problematic, but this little section of the unit regarding reflecting on your assessment can be a bit curly for some people. The final thing we need here is basically what we call professional commitment. That's our term. It's not the term that the unit uses. What is it? It basically refers to how you make sure that you stay up to date as a trainer and assessor. So for this one, we invite you to take a couple of 100 words or a few paragraphs and just describe how you go about making sure you stay up to date. Now, that's important here that you understand it's staying up to date both in your work as a trainer and assessor, as well as your work related to the industry in which you train in. So for example, if I taught plumbing, I would need to show how I stay up to date with the latest in the world of plumbing, as well as the usual trainer and assessor stuff. You won't need to submit anything else here other than the written description, since we will get it through the so-called generic items of evidence, things like your CV, position description, etc. I mentioned before that this unit tends to be a fairly straightforward one for people to provide evidence for, but as always, do be in touch if you'd like to talk it through. Everyone's situation is slightly different, and we're happy to work with you to find a way forwards.